What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new review. Today we are checking out a very unique phone, a phone that's basically an e-reader, but an e-reader that can do it all. So we have an e-ink display, but with this phone you can check your email, you can browse the web, you can read books, you can watch videos, you can even play games. So basically everything that you do on a regular phone, because after all this is running Android 8.1, but on an e-ink display. And we have some advantages and some disadvantages to having one of these screens. So this right here is called the Kingrow K1, and I believe this will be available in about a month for around $300, so definitely not cheap, but I will leave some links in the video's description just in case you wanna check this phone out. Alright, so this phone is using a 5.2 inches e-ink display that has a 720p resolution, and a screen like this basically reflects light. And that means that the more light you have hitting the screen, the better you're gonna see it. So if you take the phone outside in direct sunlight, the screen looks absolutely amazing, you can read the text really well, so the opposite of a regular phone. Now, when you take the phone in a darker place, well, you can't see the screen as good. However, there is a backlight that will come on when you're in a darker environment, and then you can see the screen. So you can basically use the phone at night as well. Now, the refresh rate on an e-ink display isn't great. I mean, this is better than any other e-ink display that I've seen in the past. And if you're just reading something, you're not gonna notice that much. However, if you're watching a video, it's like watching a frame, skipping 3, watching another, and so on. The same goes whenever you're scrolling up and down on a website, for example, or whenever you're playing a game. You're basically seeing one frame, you skip like 2-3 frames, then you see another one, and so on. So playing games on this, or basically anything that you're doing fast on a phone, it's not exactly possible. I mean, it is possible if you don't mind skipping all those frames, but it doesn't look that great. Because of that low refresh rate, the phone doesn't have access to the Google Play Store and the Google services either. However, since this is running Android 8.1, you can basically sideload most applications, or you can just sideload a different app store, and I did that, and I can install basically any app on this. So I have Waze going, I have Facebook, I have Firefox, and so on. So you can basically use any application, but you'll have to be mindful of that low refresh rate, because you can't exactly do everything as you would normally do on a regular phone. The phone itself is mostly made out of plastic, so the frame and the back are made out of plastic, and it kind of reminds me of the BlackBerry Z10, so a phone from about 5-6 years ago. On the right hand side you have the power button and the volume keys, and on the left hand side you have the slot for the SIM card. So this device can take either 2 SIM cards or a SIM card and an SD card. And you may want to use that SD card because the phone only comes with 16 gigs of internal storage, and after the operating system you're left with about 10 gigs of internal storage. At the top we have a 3.5mm audio jack, so you can plug in some headphones so you can listen to music, and at the bottom we have the microphone, the speaker, and a USB-C port. The speaker sounds decent, but nothing that special, and well, I could even say that it sounds kind of tiny, but at least we do have a speaker. On the back of the phone we even have an 8-megapixel camera, but the strange thing is that you are not going to be able to see how the pictures look like after you take them, because the screen is black and white. However, if you do send that picture to someone over email or WhatsApp or any other messaging app, the other person can actually see how the picture looks like. So something very strange, because you can't actually see how the picture looks like on this screen. But you can use the rear camera for taking pictures or videos, so just like any other phone. If you check the specs on this phone, you're gonna notice that the phone is using a MediaTek processor and 2 gigs of RAM, so definitely not the best specs out there. But even if the phone would have had the Snapdragon 855, since we have such a low refresh rate on this e-ink display, you wouldn't actually be able to use all that power. So this MediaTek processor that we have inside this phone, I think, is more than enough for what you're gonna be doing with this device. Another advantage of having an e-ink display is the insane battery life. So this phone has a 3100 mAh battery, but an e-ink display doesn't use that much power. So you're probably gonna have to charge this phone every week and a half. Me personally, I've been charging it every 2 weeks because I'm not using it that much. So if you're just reading something, you're basically not using any power. So if you're looking for a phone that you don't have to charge very often, this is definitely one to consider. So to quickly conclude this video, the Kingrow K1 is definitely a very unique phone, but if you watch a lot of videos, if you play games, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, this phone is definitely not for you. But if you carry around an e-reader and a phone that you barely use, I guess this phone could replace those. But for around $300, I feel that this phone is somewhat expensive for what it is, even though it has one of the best e-ink displays that I've ever seen. But again, it is fairly expensive and you can actually get a real phone, like not a real phone, but a normal phone for around $300. And it's also gonna be a good phone as well. So I think it's gonna be kind of tough to sell this phone. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.